Major news: US lawmakers have taken a significant step by filing the SEC Stabilization Act, aiming to bring about changes in the Securities and Exchange Commission. This act calls for the removal of the chair, Gary Gensler, and restructuring of the whole Securities and Exchange Commission.
Does it concern you that your approach to the digital asset industry is actually driving this industry out of the United States?
We're trying to drive it to compliance, and if they're not complying with the laws, then they shouldn't be offering their products.
Reclaiming my time. Madam Chair, I would like to enter into the record this Wall Street Journal article from April 14th, 2023, detailing China's ploy to open its banking system to crypto firms in an effort to seize an opportunity created by our hostile regulatory environment.
Without objection.
Chair Gensler, FTX was domiciled abroad and so is Binance, yet American consumers still had access to both. You can't really think that pushing this industry abroad is going to protect American consumers when it hasn't several times in the past on your watch. You say the crypto market is rife with non-compliance. However, existing SEC rules make no sense for blockchain-based companies, and following them would actually kill these businesses. You've been an incompetent cop on the beat, doing nothing to protect everyday Americans and pushing American firms into the hands of the CCP.
Yes, in the past 2 years, Gary Gensler has been bad for crypto. But would his departure solve the crypto regulation issues in the United States? Well, I would say it's not that simple. Yes, it's a great way to show that the crypto community is ready to fight back and that things need major restructuring. But let me explain. I used to be a big fan of Gary Gensler before he became chairman of the SEC. I began my blockchain journey by watching his lectures at MIT on blockchain and money.
So we already know in the U.S. and in many other jurisdictions that 3/4 of the market are not ICOs or not what would be called securities. Even in the U.S., Canada, and Taiwan, the 3 jurisdictions that follow something similar to the Howey test that we've talked about, 3/4 of the market is non-securities. It's just a commodity, a cash crypto. So you'll hear debates about initial coin offerings and what's a security and what's not a security. Relevant and important debate. But for 3/4 of the market, it's not particularly relevant as a legal matter, as a regulatory matter.
However, since assuming his position, he seems to have followed the same path as his predecessors. Clayton, the previous chair, faced similar criticism. We all hated him during his time. So are they all just puppets clinging on to outdated laws from 1930s? Listen to Clayton speak on recent events now.
Jay, how do you see it? Do you agree with Secretary Gensler's moves? If you were SEC chair, would you have taken these moves?
Look, it's his leadership now. He's been in this position for over 2 years. Where they've gone with this, I'm not going to be the person who throws bombs or second guesses from the sidelines. I am a supporter of the agency. I'm a supporter of the law the way it is. I think that when I was there, people would say I was a crypto hawk. We effectively shut down the ICO craze. Said that most of what I'm seeing is securities activity. But I do think we are having very blunt conversations about something that requires nuance. Crypto is really a technology. The use of blockchain technology in all sorts of aspects of our financial system should be not controversial. If you have an asset, pick a CMBS security, represented in tokenized form,
right,
there ought to be a way to custody that, transfer it, because it's probably going to be more efficient than what we're doing today. So there is a crypto use case that is clear, uncontroversial. We ought to be thinking about how to do that. I am remarkably impressed by the functionality of true stablecoins, not the algorithmic stablecoin, not the liquidity transformation stablecoin, but a true backed by the same thing that we back bank accounts by. Okay, let's just put it that way, or backed by the same thing that you would back a repo by, something like that. A true stablecoin. A remarkable technology at the retail level to be able to transfer dollars around the world. I mean, we use $100 bills in cash for a lot of things. I say we, not the populace, but people outside the United States. Wouldn't a stablecoin be a better way to do that? Wouldn't it be better for KYC? Wouldn't it be better for AML? I think so. I think we ought to be looking at that technology.
My point is, we need to address this at its core, and there's no better time to do this than with our upcoming presidential elections in the United States. Both parties cannot afford to lose any voters in such a tight race, and crypto voters represent freedom, freedom of money, freedom of thought, and we're passionate, so let's make sure we show them. Stay tuned for more updates on the SEC Stabilization Act and the future of crypto regulations in the United States. Like this video, share it with your friends. See you soon.